Pressure coming as he'll step away from the pressure and throws into the end zone for the touchdown. Jamison Sissom on his second touchdown grab of the night.
That's just a great step up in the pocket. You'll see that they Southside sent a blitz on the outside, and he just stepped up in and released it.
We'll take a second look at some outstanding athleticism that time by Trace Thompson, who has taken over so far in the second quarter.
If you'll look, you're going to see a blitz come there, right in there, and he's going to step up in the pocket.
And there you see Thompson having his way with the rushing defenders as Sissom all alone in the end zone. Corona booting the PAT. That is up, and that is good. So we'll take the timeout. 28-20, Etowah with the lead. 21.8 seconds until halftime here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, asked you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You will be glad you did.
Julian Corona squib kicks it to a Southside up man who will fall on the football around the We welcome you to Spring Garden High School, to Dale Welsh Gymnasium on the campus at Spring Garden. We welcome you into the FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week, our second of the season, and we'll feature two of the top teams in the state of Alabama, two powerhouses in our area, as Handley makes the trip to Cherokee County to face Spring Garden. We welcome you in. A happy game day wherever you're watching us from here on the FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week. James Hardy and Jim Jacobs with you, and should be an outstanding game, Jim, because we'll have two outstanding teams, including one of the top players not only in Alabama but in the South, in Ace Austin tonight.
Yeah, there you see, this is where we are in the southeast corner of Cherokee County here in East Alabama tonight for championship basketball. You see it when you walk through the front doors of this place, James. Championship trophies everywhere.
And you look at these two teams, they made deep postseason runs last year, as far as Spring Garden winning the 1A state championship, and also Handley making a deep run in the postseason last year in Class 4A.
Yep, I mean, just you got blue blood everywhere when we talk about girls basketball right now here. Spring Garden, of course, with the multiple state championships. Coach Ricky Austin getting the job done year after year after year. And then, of course, across the way, the crimson colors of the Handley Lady Tigers under Coach Courtney Strain Screws. Make sure you emphasize that strain, James, because I can remember so many years ago when she was a member of her father's championship team down in Woodland playing basketball as a young lady. So we've got some serious competition here tonight.
And we should have an outstanding matchup, a non-region game, obviously, for both teams, a matchup between 1A Spring Garden and 4A Handley. We'll take this time out, and we'll take a look as far as our starters, as well as tip-off and a conversation with both of our coaches after this timeout. You're watching the FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
You understand how your business works, but you may not understand how insurance can work for your business. We have new businesses versus established in different industries. As most people know, that when you're going to an online company, you're calling a 1-800 number anytime you need anything. And if you have a local agent, then the local agent knows you and they understand the history. We can be there to help you out.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find the full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
Back at Spring Garden High School, Dale Welsh Gymnasium for the FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week. James Hardy with you. Spring Garden at 7-0 coming in, and Handley at 5-1, and we'll send it to our very own Jim Jacobs, who has Handley head coach Courtney Strain Screws.
Doesn't get much better than this. You got girls basketball in prime time on TV where everybody can watch. Talk a little bit about your season so far.
We've had a good start so far, 7-1. We lost to Oxford last week, which I think you know how strong of a team Melissa Bennett has at Oxford. I'm thrilled to get to have this opportunity to play on FNN and go up against such a historically strong program in Spring Garden.
You know, I was thinking about talking to you. This is almost got to be mirror-like for you from back in your days when you played down at Woodland with your dad. Such a strong program here at Spring Garden. It's almost so much like those days back in Woodland.
Right. Well, I don't know if we can hold a candle to Spring Garden, but it is nice to be put in the same category with them. So, like I said, it's always fun to come to Spring Garden. It's an honor to get to be here and experience a place that really takes girls basketball seriously.
Talk a little bit, Courtney, about what you think it's going to take to manage this game and slow this bunch down.
Well, obviously, you've got to control Ace Austin, and obviously that's a lot easier said than done. And then also Chloe, number 15, she's tough on the low post block. We've got to be able to control her off the boards. I think that if we can prevent our turnovers, prevent us from turning the ball over, I think, we possibly can make it a game. But again, we all know how strong Spring Garden is, and we're just excited to be here.
Good luck. We'll see you at the half.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Coach Courtney Strain-Screws and Jim Jacobs. As you look at these two teams, Handley coming in, averaging just under 56 points per ball game and only giving up a little under 36, while Spring Garden averaging about 68 points per ball game. Let's send it back to Jim Jacobs with Spring Garden head coach Ricky Austin.
Coach, it doesn't get much better than this. Girls basketball, full house, prime time.
Absolutely. We're excited to be home. We've been on the road a lot. We've had one home game in 9. We just came back from a long Tennessee road trip. Feels like the first game of the year.
Well, you survived the tornadoes coming home. Can you survive Handley tonight?
Well, they play that way. They play very fast and very up-tempo and very aggressive, and it should be a very good game. Be a good test for us.
Of course, we just talked with Coach Strain. She says the key is obviously controlling Ace, but everybody tries to control Ace. It's easier said than done.
Well, I am glad she's on my team, and I'm not trying to figure out how to control her, but I'm sure Courtney will have a good game plan. She was in that role as a player. People tried to stop her, so she knows what's the best out there.
Coach, what's the keys to the game as far as getting this thing underway tonight for your side?
Seeing who we are, playing to our standard, and we have a lot of things that make up our standard. It starts with defense first, try to create easy opportunities.
All right, Coach, good luck. We'll see you at the half.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right, well, there you go, James. You feel the excitement in the building. You hear it from both coaches. It's time to play basketball.
Oh, absolutely. It should be some of the best basketball as far as just matchup-wise that both of these teams have seen so far in the early season. Spring Garden already has a Area 12 win under their belt in Class 1A. That coming just a few weeks ago. A 78-10 win on December the 5th, actually, against Jacksonville Christian to start the month of December. And both teams will be back into area play coming up in their next game later on in the week. In fact, on Thursday, it'll be Spring Garden hosting Cedar Bluff here at Dale Welsh Gymnasium, while also on Thursday, Handley will open up their area schedule in Class 4A against Munford. So the 4-8 Area 8 play for the Handley Tigers about to get underway in a couple days, but this will feel like kind of a playoff game for both these teams, a postseason game, kind of like almost a game that these two teams would play, let's say, at the Northeast Regional in Jacksonville. So it should be an interesting ball game as far as the matchup for both of these teams, Jim.
Yeah, but what you have, James, is you have a 1A team in Spring Garden and a 4A team in Handley. So obviously they won't meet in postseason play, but it will be a good tune-up for both teams to face quality opponents later on in the season.
So we heard as far as both of the coaches, as far as their keys. And, Jim, what are your keys for these teams tonight?
You know, I think if you're Handley, you just try not to let Spring Garden get away from you. You know, keep this thing at least in low double digits if it comes to that. If Spring Garden gets on a roll and, you know, Ace Austin goes off, this thing could get ugly early.
And then you got to figure for Spring Garden, get the ball moving and get your shooters, especially Ace Austin and Chloe Rule, some open looks.
Yeah, you know, and it's going to be interesting to see who uses pressure and when they use it, you know, to try to control the tempo of the game. These are two extremely intelligent coaches on this floor And, you know, it's a matchup of coaches as much as it is kids right here tonight.
A little chess match going on tonight for the coaches. And I'll be very interested, Jim, as far as just how we see Spring Garden just carry themselves, especially coming off of a state championship, how they try and follow up as far as not only tonight, but their overall journey through this 2023-2024 season.
Hey, James, a lot of work went into making this telecast happen tonight. Boys and girls flip. The girls normally never play last, but we made it happen tonight so we could bring you this matchup in prime time, and this is as good as it gets. And, of course, we want to thank all of our sponsors who helped make this possible here tonight, starting with S&H, Waterproofing and Construction. Those folks have been with us throughout football season with our countdown to kickoff. They're here with us tonight for basketball and all season. The folks at Bucks Island and, of course, here at Bama Sheds as well, as we turn you over to our PA announcer for tonight's starting lineups.
Mosley. Number 22, Zanatika Smith. And number 23, Millie Green. Head coach, Courtney Screws. Spring Garden, number 3, a junior, Olivia Long. Number 15, a senior, Chloe Rule. Number 23, a senior, Libby Brown. Number 41, a junior, Maggie Jarrett. And number 1, a junior, Ace Austin. Head coach, Ricky Austin.
And there you have it, your starting lineups for both teams. The lights come back on, the neons go off, the little shaker things go away, and we're ready to play basketball.
And both teams about to make their way out onto center floor as Handley wearing the crimson tops and bottoms as the road team this evening, and the home whites, the tops and bottoms for Spring Garden. Spring Garden will be going from our left to right as you're watching us here in the first half.
Primetime girls basketball, it's a first for us, and we're glad it's these two clubs going at it here tonight in a historic place.
Spring Garden wins the opening tip. It'll be Law. Off to Jarrett, tries to drive as Austin gets cut off. Top the key, 3 ball up, and a foul on the play as Maggie Jarrett will go to the line for 3 free throws.
So they flashed the post up to the top of the key there, James. Got a nice little dish from inside and went for the three-pointer, got slapped on the wrist, and now she'll shoot 3.
Amelia Greer on the Handley foul is the first of 3 up and good. Spring Garden averages 67.7 points per game through their first 7 games as the second free throw also up and good. Just underway.
Jarrett, of course, the senior.
And the third free throw also good. So all 3 of the free throws were good. And so Spring Garden on the board first, as this is the first offensive possession of the night for Handley. With it is Mosley. Angles toward the corner and now drives baseline. Good defense by Libby Brown to cut off the drive, and a steal for Maggie Jarrett. Spring-Garten trots it up the floor, and ball goes out of bounds as the pass intended at our far side for Olivia Law.
Yeah, Law wasn't looking for it and kind of kept going. We call that zig and zag here on the broadcast.
That's right, as it'll be an opportunity maybe with a three for Handley to tie up the ball game. Still very early on. Not even a minute played here in the first quarter. Tucker tries to leave it off and turns it over. So a turnover for Handley as Ace Austin directs traffic right in front of the Handley bench. Here's Austin for the triple. That banks in. So the bank open for Ace Austin that announced just about a month ago that she'll be taking her talents into the SEC in a couple of years, Jim.
Yep. We'll play down in Tuscaloosa.
Handley with the basketball as they're down 6-0. Mosley to carry on to Mosley will back it out. Works off an Amelia Greer screen. Mosley still with the dribble. Now dumps it down as the turnaround off the glass is no good for Zanotica Smith as the putback, however, good for Handley.
So Handley finally gets a shot up, James, with 1:45 gone in the first quarter. That was their first look at the rim, and they turn it into points.
Amelia Greer believed with the deuce, but quickly a three for Spring-Garten.
Boy, they run that little shield off that kind of pick play, James, and just really make hay with it.
Libby Brown with her first three. A little bit of trouble that time on the dribble for Mosley, but keeps it inside that half-court line. Brown, Akia Brown that is, gives it to Smith, who banks it no good off the glass. A fight for the rebound, still a loose ball, goes to Handley. Handley has it, second try, no good that time for Mosley, and we'll have a out-of-bounds ball off of Spring-Garten.
They called a jump ball there, James. They got tied up underneath the basket. Possession goes over to Handley.
So Handley with the basketball as it's stolen away by Ace Austin on the inbound.
Yeah, Ace just stepped in front of that bounce pass, and look at that cross-court pass from Ace. Good shot. Nothing happening.
Yeah, Brown misses the three that time as the loose ball after the rebound by Handley, and we'll have another jump ball, and this time Spring-Garten controls the possession. So 9-2 early on for Spring-Garten as the Panthers looking to make it a daily double as their boys varsity team already got a win over Handley this evening. Here's another three, try and good for Libby Brown.
Good Lord. Spring-Garten is just, they're just knocking them down.
Yeah, scoring their points in trios so far. 3 free throws and then 3 balls. Handley looking to get a little bit of momentum as Zanotica Smith backs it out. Handley still in search of at least some rhythm offensively as a loose ball deflected at the timeline as Greer loses it and turns it over. Hounded by the pressure that time as Law has the basketball. She'll drive, loses it herself, and that'll go out of bounds off of Olivia Law. Good defense that time by Handley to knock it away as it was last touched off the knee of Olivia Law.
We're almost midway through the quarter, and that's the first turnover for Spring-Garten.
A fast start for the homestanding Panthers as they'll go back on defense with Handley controlling the ball. To carry on to Mosley, spins, now shoots the turnaround. That's off the mark as the offensive rebound and the putback good for 2. All of the points so far coming off of offensive rebounds for Handley. That is Zanotica Smith's first field goal. Here's the drive and a good bounce pass as the shot up and good for Chloe Rule, and she'll have a chance for a three-point play.
Boy, Spring-Garten's doing it in threes tonight, aren't they?
Indeed. And believe that foul goes on Zanotica Smith. So that'll be her first and Handley's second team foul. Free throw, that's off the mark. No good for Rule, but the offensive rebound for Law as here's the 3 ball off the mark, that time by Libby Brown as the rebound for Handley. Amelia Greer under the basket to corral that ball. Akia Brown on the drive off to Zanotica Smith. Backs it out. Man-to-man defense for Spring-Garten as they've led wire to wire so far. About 6 minutes, 20 seconds played in the opening quarter. Three ball up for Brown, no good. A fight for the rebound, and we'll have our third jump ball of the first quarter, and it'll stay with the visiting team in Handley. Good fight by both teams for that rebound off the missed three. Inbounds pass will be, looked like knocked off. No, they'll say it will stay. I thought it might have been knocked off of a knee of a Spring Garden defender, and indeed it was.
I thought it got kicked.
Yeah, I thought it did too, as the indication does go off of Spring Garden. Inbounds pass deflected that time by, I believe, Ace Austin as it goes out of bounds and will stay with Handley.
First quarter action here from Spring Garden tonight. Primetime girls basketball on FNN.
So we go toward the 3-minute, 20-second mark in the opening quarter. To Kariana Mosley at the point. Tries to back it, Ace Austin in as Austin with good position defense. Is trying to drive his Tucker. Leaves it off for Smith as she will miss the layup as the rebound goes to Olivia Law for Spring Garden as that bounce pass gets deflected out of bounds off of Akia Brown.
James, there's a lot of similarities in what we saw last night and what we're seeing tonight in respect to Anniston and tonight Handley's girls offensively. They just don't have any rhythm going yet.
Spring Garden with the ball as Austin on the drive, pulls up and shoots. No good from 6 feet. Gets her own rebound, however. Here's the three in the corner. That's short, no good. And the rebound to Amelia Greer as we'll have a whistle and a foul go on Spring Garden. So that's going to be their first team foul for this first quarter. So first foul on the personal by Chloe Rule. Just a reminder as far as the AHSAA foul rules for this year. Once a team gets 5 fouls in a quarter, the opposing team will have 2 free throws.
Yeah, you're just going to rub that in again tonight, aren't you?
Well, hey, it's a brand new rule.
It is what it is.
That's right, and just our second time on the air this year, so have to give that reminder every once in a while.
Just say the 1-and-1 is history.
Well, that is a fact as well.
Yeah, the 1-and-1 is history.
14-4, the lead for Spring Garden. Undefeated coming into tonight's ball game at 7-0 as the inbounds pass gets deflected out of bounds. I don't think Handley has yet substituted for head coach Courtney Strain-Screws as the original starting 5 still on the floor. All of their 4 points so far have come off of the offensive rebound. Well, all but 5 of the points tonight for Spring Garden off the 3 ball. There's a good pull-up jumper by Kariana Mosley for her first bucket of the night. Quickly the other way, the 3 up, and that's no good for Spring Garden as the rebound goes to Kariana Mosley.
Oh, what a pass.
However, that gets stolen on better defense by Maggie Jarrett as we'll have a touch foul coming toward the timeline by Akia Brown. Brown her first, team's third as we go under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Both teams will be going into, at least for Spring Garden, back into area play on Thursday. And the area opener for Handley on Thursdays. Here's Austin to the basket. Good, and she'll have a chance for the and one.
Boy, I tell you, Spring Garden's just playing 3-ball all night. Doesn't matter if it's from the line or from outside the three-point arc.
Indeed. So
everything's in threes, James. And, boy, it just doesn't take a long time to build a big lead when you're playing like that.
There's the free throw up and good for Austin.
One of our keys to the game early, Handley had to keep this thing manageable. We're in the point now, James, where it could get away from them if they don't start getting some buckets.
So it is now 6 points for Austin. The lead up to 11 for Spring Garden. Takira Tucker slows things down. Handley needs some offense, however, as far as trying to stay within shouting distance as we come toward the final minute of the first quarter. A foul on the drive as Kariana Mosley drove baseline, was able to draw contact, and she'll have a couple of free throws on the way.
You hate to see your kids commit a foul on a shot like that. I mean, she really wasn't in good control, kind of behind the backboard. Wasn't a high percentage shot to begin with, and misses the front end of a couple.
So coming out will be Olivia Law Kristen Lewis, the junior guard, her first action of the night. Spring Garden just 9 players on their roster for this 23-24 season as the free throw good for Mosley.
Boy, they can all play, though.
17-7, the lead for Spring Garden. Austin off a screen, drives, gets at least by 2 defenders, but loses it. Loose ball collected by Smith as up ahead is Tucker. Shoots in the lane and misses as the rebound goes to Ace Austin. Austin floats it ahead. Tough pass that time as Chloe Rule, able to get it somehow, misses the layup as she gets her own rebound. 3 ball up and no good for Libby Brown as a third try coming up off the offensive rebound for Spring Garden. Austin Lane shoots and scores. Will they count the basket? Yes, they will.
Wow.
I think that looked like a good call from my vantage point.
Yes, her first step is just so fast.
So that's Akia Brown's second personal foul, and that'll get Ace Austin up to 8 points on the night.
Just an 11th grader, James. There's a good look at her right there. Just an 11th grader, and we've been watching her since the 7th grade, and she's got another year to play after this one.
Here's the free throw up and good for Austin. Very high marks on the recruiting trail as far as just the basketball player that's Ace Austin that we'll talk about later on. As the lead up to 20-7 and a steal for Spring Garden. Austin tries the 3 and can't.
Got it. Now, see, that's just a smart teammate right there, James. You watch this on the replay. Well, we didn't see the pass, but she just knocked that thing down on a trailing pass there on that breakaway.
Libby Brown on the steal as Austin will shoot the 3 ball and score to close out the first quarter.
Oh, my goodness. Watch this right here. Bang!
15 points for Ace Austin. A flurry of points down the stretch of the first quarter for the Alabama commit, as Spring Garden leads 26-7 after 1 here on the FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
All Spring Garden so far tonight, as the varsity girls of Spring Garden, coming off of a state championship last season, leads Handley 26-7 as we begin the second quarter.
And this is a good Handley ball club, James. I mean, this is just, it's just textbook basketball.
Entry pass as Rule turns and makes the turnaround. Chloe Rule, her second field goal.
And see, she could have just as easily there kicked it out to the perimeter for another one of those deadly three-pointers by her teammates.
There's the drive for Zenautica Smith as she runs over a defender, no call. Long 3, good. An NBA 3 for Takariana Mosley.
And there's the shot from Mosley. Bang, nothing but net.
6 points for her. First triple of the night for Handley. Austin gets by Tucker.
Yeah, they had an ISO on her.
And scores.
Yep, they cleared it out for her on the right side, and you're not going to guard her, not when she's got a step and she's headed to the basket.
Ace Austin already with 17 points tonight. On the drive, Mosley shoots and misses the 3 ball from the corner as the rebound stays with Handley. Here's Mosley, a second try at the mid-range jumper this time, no, and the rebound to Ace Austin for Spring Garden. Austin trots across the timeline.
Here comes the high screen for her.
Little two-person game as Austin misses the three, a wide-open three that time. Handley lucky that time as the rebound goes to Zanautica Smith for the Handley Tigers. Good entry pass that time as even better defense by Spring Garden to force the tie-up. And possession arrow will keep it with Handley. 2 substitutions, Olivia Law and back in, and then Avery Stewart into the game for the first time tonight. Inbounds pass goes to Jadazzlin Fuller as she's into the game for the first time tonight for Handley. There's a high pass that time to Smith. She turns and gets fouled on the turnaround. So Zanautica Smith will have her first free throws coming up. And Avery Stewart, just as quickly as she checks in, commits her first personal foul. 20-point lead for Spring Garden as there you see Zanautica Smith, the senior. Shoots the free throw and gets the shooter's touch. So Smith with her first of 2 free throws successful that time. 5 seniors on the Handley roster this year, and there you see one of those about to complete, and hopefully for her is 2 successful free throws, and it is. So Zanautica Smith perfect from the line on that trip. She has 4. We approach 6 minutes to go until halftime. There's a good defense that time by Zanautica Smith as she's able to get the steal and force the foul on Spring Garden. Mackie Jarrett on the foul. That is her first personal foul. So that's 2 team fouls, already matching what Spring Garden had in fouls through all of the first quarter. Really not a lot of whistles as far as fouls blown between the 2 teams in the first quarter. As we're under 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter, Smith backs in, shoots, and short on the turnaround, and the rebound goes to Spring Garden. Olivia Law on the board as Austin clears some traffic, goes in by Mosley, stops, and has to kick it out. Stewart with the dribble. They'll work a little half-court offense will Spring Garden. And we'll have a whistle, and a double dribble goes on Olivia Law. So some better defense the last about 3 trips down the floor for Handley as we'll have quickly back in Mackie Jarrett. Out goes Olivia Law for Spring Garden. Handley trying to cut into an 18-point deficit. High post action for Zanautica Smith. Back out to Mosley. Going one-on-one against Austin, shoots and misses the runner, gets her own rebound, puts it up, no. A fight for the rebound, and the third try, no good that time for Christiana Tucker for Handley, as we'll have a whistle and a double dribble. Looks like off of the loose ball going on Handley. So we'll have a substitution as back in is Olivia Law. She had a cup of coffee on the bench and will give a breather to Mackie Jarrett. Also coming in will be Libby Brown. Brown with a couple of 3 balls, 6 points, as she'll check in for Avery Stewart. 5 minutes to go until halftime. All Spring Garden so far tonight. A showcase game for both teams tonight here on the FNN basketball game of the week as the bank shot good for Ace Austin. Ace Austin, one of the top players in the South, not only the state of Alabama, but showing her skills tonight. As she's up to 19 points and forces the loose ball and the foul on to Kariana Mosley.
Great defense that time. Austin tipping it away and then trying to get the basketball, got fouled in the process.
Mosley her second personal as Mackie Reedy checks out for Spring Garden. One thing you don't have to worry about if you're Coach Ricky Austin with only 9 players is worrying about divvying up playing time.
Yeah, everybody should get in, shouldn't they?
And get quality playing time. A rare carry on the violation by Libby Brown. Palmed that basketball, and the official at the baseline on top of it.
Did she not get called for the double dribble just a few trips ago?
She might have.
Yeah, I think this is the second time for her.
Yeah, one on a carry and another for a double dribble. 4:20 to go until halftime. There's the runner in the paint, no good for Tucker. As the rebound goes to Spring Garden as they want to run, and behind the defense, Rule puts it in for 2.
Yeah, Ace got that ball to her down the court, James, and she caught it on the run and just laid it up and in.
Ace Austin very impressive so far tonight, and Spring Garden, for that matter, impressive as a team. Double team at the timeline. Tucker loses it and turns it over.
I mean, it's like their hands are everywhere, you know.
Austin off the pick, kicks it out. 3 ball up and no good for Jarrett. Tie up on the rebound as Zanautica Smith got the ball first and then tied up by, may have been Ace Austin that time, as it'll keep it with Spring Garden. 34-12, the lead for Spring Garden, as on the drive will be Brown. She scoops it in on the layup for 2. First 2-point field goal tonight for Libby Brown. Spring Garden in firm control as Spring Garden gets the turnover. Here's Austin on the breakout as she'll stick it in for 2.
I don't think the only thing we won't see her do is dunk it.
Ace Austin now up to 21 points. Loose ball and a steal for Spring Garden. Jarrett collects the loose ball. Here's a wide open 3 and got it for Libby Brown.
I'm telling you, James, you're just talking about a clinic that's being put on this floor right now by these Spring Garden Lady Panthers.
And obviously when you look at Spring Garden, as a 30-second timeout called for by Handley head coach Courtney Strain-Screws, when you look at Spring Garden, obviously when you look at Class 1A of the favorites as far as repeating for the 1A state championship in February. But when you look at what we're seeing tonight, I don't think you'd have even a lot of the higher classification teams in 6A and 7A that they would have a tough time against this type of Spring Garden team tonight.
Absolutely. While we have a chance, let's mention our sponsors again, starting with S&H Waterproofing and Construction. We'll talk about them a little bit more at halftime and what they do. Also, Bucks Island. Just don't even think about buying a boat till you get that Bucks quote, okay? And then, of course, Bama Sheds and Pole Barns. You can finance it right there on the lot with them. They'll take care of you just in time for Santa Claus.
Handley has the basketball out of the timeout. Takira Tucker almost tried to get around Austin that time. As Mosley shoots an NBA 3. That's off the back rim, no good. And the rebound goes to Spring Garden. Austin trots it across the timeline. 2.5 minutes to go until halftime. Austin off of a Rule screen will dump it down, and good look as Law couldn't quite corral it cleanly.
Didn't force it, though, James. Just got it right back out to her teammates. Bang.
Look at Brown that time with an almost NBA 3.
Libby Brown spots up from the right wing and bang.
So her third triple of the night, up to 13 points, as Spring Garden running away with it, up 44-12 with 2 minutes to go until halftime. Mosley misses the 3. She follows up the rebound. Backs it out to the corner. Finds Takira Tucker as she'll dribble. Shoots from about 17. That chips glass as the rebound goes to Spring Garden. Austin up ahead. Behind the defense, Brown lays it in for 2.
I mean, they run the floor. They just do everything so well.
Well, I think we're being reminded, I should say, as far as why Ace Austin will be playing high-level college ball in a couple of years.
Yeah, it won't be this easy for her down in Tuscaloosa, but
we'll have a foul underneath the basket as Zanautica Smith missed the layup, but the foul, the second personal for Maggie Jarrett, as that'll be the third team foul of the second quarter for Spring Garden. Just one team foul in the quarter for Handley as Zanautica Smith with 4 of the 12 Handley points so far. Shoots the free throw and in and out, no good.
Yeah, she's a senior.
We'll have 4 substitutions check in for Spring Garden. Kristen Lewis, Avery Stewart, along with Allie Mobbs. And I believe Maggie Reedy also checks back in. So every one of the 9 players for Spring Garden has seen action here in the first half. Smith for the second free throw. That's no good. So she misses both free throws as the rebound goes to Allie Mobbs. one of the 4 seniors for Coach Ricky Austin Spring Garden Lady Panthers. Stewart retreats loose to the backcourt. Puts it on the floor. We'll hand it off on some weave action to Lewis. The dribble right in front of us for Libby Brown. Under a minute to go until halftime. Brown directs some traffic against some tight man-to-man defense for Handley. Clock down to 43 seconds as it appears that Spring Garden wants to try and at least hold it if they can't get a good look. They'll get a really good look here as the 3-ball no good, and the offensive rebound and putback no good for Libby Brown. Initial 3 missed by Kristen Lewis. As the clock at 25, as Takira Tucker blows the layup at point-blank range, but Handley will keep the ball as it goes off of Spring Garden. You're not going to get a better look than you just saw from Takira Tucker. She just blew a point-blank layup. As checking in will be number 5, Christiana Tucker for Handley. Tucker, it'll be the 3-ball no good for Christiana Tucker as the rebound tied up, and it'll stay with Handley. 14 seconds to go until halftime. As Spring Garden has led wire to wire as they took a 26-7 lead after 1 as a good inbounds and the missed layup for Takira Tucker the first and second time as the ball stays with Handley out of bounds.
Yeah, Handley's probably missed, 5 or 6 chippies?
Yeah, Tucker's missed 3 in just the last 40 seconds. Here's the inbounds pass that's deflected. And a loose ball and a steal for Spring Garden. 2 seconds to go, a loose ball as that will conclude the first half. It's just been all Spring Garden so far in the first 2 quarters of play as Spring Garden will take a 46-12 lead at the half here on the FNN high school basketball game of the week.
You understand how your business works, but you may not understand how insurance can work for your business. We have new businesses versus established in different industries. As most people know, that when you're going to an online company, you're calling a 1-800 number anytime you need anything. And if you have a local agent, then the local agent knows you and they understand the history. We can be there to help you out.
The Calhoun County Commission made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Advantage Tire and Alignment on Highway 202 in Anniston is so much more than just a new tire and rim shop. There's not enough time in this ad to tell you all the many things they can do to help keep your car in tip-top shape. Advantage Tire uses ASE certified technicians, so you know any work done is top-notch. Bottom line, if it needs repaired or replaced, they can probably do the job and save you money. And when it comes time for new or used tires and rims, Advantage Tire and Alignment prices just can't be beat. Stop in and see Bruce and the crew today. Advantage Tire and Alignment. Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
This is the wrong cut.
Garden go time in the first half for Spring Garden as they take a 46-12 lead to the halftime locker room here at Dale Welsh Gymnasium on the Spring Garden campus. James Hardy, Jim Jacobs, and our FNN crew with you for our second high school basketball game of the week of the season, and as many nights actually here for the 2023-2024 season. The search schedule will continue into next week with 2 more games for you before we unwrap the Christmas presents for the Christmas holiday.
Have you got your shopping done yet? Are you ready?
I am not ready for that actually yet.
Who is? And we won't get any done Monday night either.
that I am definitely sure of, as we'll make the trip not too far from here, actually, down to Jacksonville.
Yep.
As Alexandria will take on Jacksonville as far as some boys varsity action. Really a couple of close rivals will be squaring off right before they get into the Christmas holiday season themselves.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I think this is just a great matchup for us Monday night. Couple of, really blue bloods of Calhoun County. Jacksonville, 2-time defending state champ. Dylan Barksdale, everybody said he's not Dylan Barksdale, but what's his name? I'll think of it in a minute. When it comes back to me, I'll tell you. But anyway, we're just talking about really great basketball. And, James, this game may go a lot towards seeding the Calhoun County basketball tournament. A lot of people think Jacksonville's the top seed going in. But if Alexandria could get in there and take one from them, that could change things a little bit and maybe move Oxford to the top of the list.
And you look for Alexandria, it may be a showcase game for them as far as what they can do in their not only area in 5A, but also in the postseason in 5A as well.
Let me talk a minute about one of our sponsors, S&H Waterproofing and Construction. I mean, Robert and his crew has been with us all season long in a major way, and we can't thank them enough, and you shouldn't either, for what they do for bringing you high school football, basketball, and whatever else we're doing they've been a part of. But I want to talk a minute about checking out that crawl space under your house. If you see your hardwood starting to warp a little bit, or you see some little bit of, a roll in the floor or something along that lines, or maybe even a musty smell in your house, it's time to have somebody that's a professional get up under that house and take a look at it for you, because we're not talking about hundreds of dollars here, James. We're talking about thousands of dollars of damage that can happen in a home. I mean, I've seen homes completely wiped out with this problem, and S&H can fix it for you. What they can do is go in, give you an estimate, talk about encapsulation, talk about doing everything that you need to protect the value of your home. And in Alabama, with the way the weather has been during the summers here, it's a big deal, and it's something that's well worth your time. Get in touch with the folks at S&H Waterproofing and Construction. They have a Facebook page. There'll be a number there where you can contact them. And there you see some of the banners in the 2-box here up over the basket here to our right. And there's a plethora of them down on the other end of the floor that we'll get a look at here in just a little bit. But, again, thank you to everybody at S&H Waterproofing and Construction for what they do to support high school sports. They're big Spring Garden fans, so I know they're enjoying the heck out of this.
I imagine they'll be enjoying a lot of Ace Austin and the rest of the Lady Panthers throughout this season, as I imagine they'll be maybe even adding to some of those state championship banners that they've added over the years.
Just look at that. They don't have any room for any more. Where are they going to put them?
There may be one more little room in that corner.
Yeah, and
there
to the right of the windows they got some, and then I guess they'll come back down on this end and do some more. But, we shouldn't be surprised that Spring Garden has played this well. I'm surprised that Handley hasn't had any kind of answer for them.
Oh, without question. You have to give a lot of credit to head coach Ricky Austin for coming up with an excellent game plan. And I've been very impressed, Jim, with just how well coached Spring Garden has at least been able to display their talents on the floor tonight. We'll go ahead and take this time out, and we'll get ready for the second half after this on the FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
You understand how your business works, but you may not understand how insurance can work for your business. We have new businesses versus established in different industries. As most people know, that when you're going to an online company, you're calling a 1-800 number anytime you need anything. And if you have a local agent, then the local agent knows you and they understand the history. We can be there to help you out.
The Calhoun County Commission made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
The FNN High School basketball game of the week rolls on as we're at halftime from Dale Welsh Gymnasium, as it's been all spring garden so far this evening.
And who is Dale Welsh? Is that gentleman right there in the cowboy hat in the center of the screen. That's who this gym is named after. And they've been in this place for quite a while. I mean, there's been some fresh paint and a lot of stuff done to the floor, but this gym's been here a while.
Yeah, still you can feel the character of the gym as far as just how many games, great games, and now great teams that have played on this very playing floor as far as the Dale Welsh Gymnasium is concerned. James Hardy with you. Jim Jacobs also along with our FNN crew here on our second high school basketball game of the season. Got it started last night just down Highway 21 at Anniston High School, where White Plains was able to hold on to tip off our FNN High School basketball game of the week. Jim Jacobs going to, I believe, will be getting a cameo visit here in just a moment from Coach Ricky Austin. In fact, we'll send it over to Jim Jacobs, who has Spring Garden head coach Ricky Austin.
Now, I know coaches always have something to say about how their team has played, but Ricky, you can't play much better than that.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I said in the locker room. We had 3 possessions early where they beat us to the off. You know, we didn't defensive rebound well. We just kind of lost our man a little bit. But, yeah, other than that and a couple little ball handling miscues, pretty clean half.
I mean, we're just sitting over here amazed with just how well these girls, they just play so well together, and they play off of one another so well.
They do. They trust each other, and that's really where it starts at. It's easy to trust Ace, but we're not that team that's looking for Ace, as you can see. We're looking for everybody. I don't think you can win a state championship with a one-dimension player. You got to have multiple playmakers, and, we've seen that right there, multiple playmakers.
Yeah, and I think really what we saw the most was how unselfish the team is. Somebody get the ball down inside, and it's like they're looking to kick back out for that open three.
Yeah, partly by design, but design don't always work. You got to have unselfish players, and that is key.
Well, it's been fun to watch, and we've got a couple more quarters. We're looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. I am myself. It's 0-0 is how we're going to handle this thing right now.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you. Thanks.
That sounds like one of the top coaches in the state of Alabama as far as what you just heard from Ricky Austin. Approaching this second half like it's 0-0, as we'll send it back to Jim Jacobs, almost right in front of us with Handley head coach Courtney Strain Screws.
You say to him at the half?
Well, obviously we're playing a very good basketball team, and it's not easy to go in and talk to a team when the score is what it is at halftime. But what we talked about is that you've still got to find ways to improve in ball games like this, that you're going to have losses, you're going to have ugly losses just like this one. You've still got to find ways to get better and to improve.
How do you coach this second half? I guess you got to say it's 0-0 right now and see if you can find a win in something.
Right. Well, like what I just said, we've got to find ways to make ourselves better. Our season continues past tonight, and there's things that we're going to need in our arsenal past tonight that we've got to work on right now.
In Spring Garden, what do you see in them that impresses you?
That's when every kid on the floor can shoot and can score. You're tough to beat.
And they're so selfless in the way, to me, that they approach the game.
Right, and when everybody can score and then you've got a stud like Ace Austin, what more can you ask for?
Well, it's been fun to watch if you're a Spring Garden fan, not so much if you're a Handley fan, but I know you guys will hang in there and play tough in the second half.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Coach Courtney Strain-Screws, as we're just about ready to begin the second half. And really for both of these teams, especially from a coaching standpoint, it'll be as much as far as just the Nick Saban mantra as far as the process of how these teams evolve just in this game over the course of the second half as far as building their journeys this season. Spring Garden with the basketball to begin the second half, as we will have a double dribble for the second time tonight for Spring Garden. Chloe Rule caught with the double dribble that time. And when you look at the scoring as far as the quarters go, Spring Garden led after one 26-7 and then held Handley to 5 in the second quarter and outscoring them 20-5. Zanautica Smith gets open and misses the jumper. As the rebound to Takira Tucker, as she'll go to the line for 2 free throws.
And see, that's what you got to do, James. You got to try to win little battles if you're Handley right now. And one of those is still playing tough and not packing it in and basically saying, well, who's next?
Ace Austin whistled for her first personal foul. Spring Garden's first here in the third quarter is the first free throw short for Takira Tucker, no good. Tucker still trying to get on the scoreboard. She's had a really tough night, and that's been the tale for Handley tonight, a tough night. Tucker, second of 2. No good as well, as the rebound goes to Olivia Law for Spring Garden. Quick pass, cross-court pass to Jarrett as she goes in and will miss the layup, but she'll have a trip to the free throw line. Zanautica Smith with the personal, her second and Handley's first foul here in the third quarter. Free throws coming up as it's up and good for Maggie Jarrett.
Want to thank everybody, of course, for tuning in and watching tonight, no matter where you are, on Facebook, YouTube, FNN Channel 1, any of our streaming platforms, Roku on your TV, your Apple TV, or your Amazon Fire Stick. Thanks for tuning in with us and catching a little hoops on a Tuesday night.
Jarrett with both free throws. Lead extends to 36 as Zanautica Smith lays it in on some excellent high-low action for Handley.
Got her on her post. See you right down there, James. She got her on her hip, got her turned right to the basket and off the glass. Good little play, and already Handley has turned it over to Spring Garden's turned it over to Handley, and here we go back inside.
Here's Zanautica Smith, forces up the shot. No. Greer with the rebound, hands it off to Tucker, who misses about a 5-foot little floater as the rebound goes to Spring Garden. Ace Austin with the dribble, tries to get by 2 defenders, gets cut off. Austin at the free throw line shoots and scores.
She just beats you so many ways. They double team her as she was trying to go with the left hand to the basket. So what she do? She does a cross dribble, goes to the free throw line, and knocks down a little 14-footer.
There's the 3 by Kia Brown, as the rebound to Ace Austin. Austin in the open floor, underhand for the 3, up and too strong for Libby Brown, as the rebound fought for and a jump ball. And the possession arrow will send it over to Handley. Now, I was reading at least one of the tweets from as far as when it came to Ace Austin's recruitment to Alabama from a college basketball recruiting scout. And a couple of things that he mentioned about this person mentioned about her is the jumper up and good for Takira Tucker, who has her first 2 points. But for Austin, 2 of the things that really stood out to me for her leadership as well as her basketball IQ on the floor.
She knows what to do with it, and I mean it's a little more than skill. There's a lot of instinct there.
A shot no good off the back rim that time, as it was Takariana Mosley on the missed shot. Open floor for Austin. Stutter steps and misses the layup as the rebound will go back to Austin. A good job of hustling down and getting the rebound off of her own miss for Ace Austin. Maggie Jarrett pounds it on the floor. Brown open. 3. Got it.
Well, Libby Brown's a three-point assassin tonight. Watch this. Well, squares up. Boom.
Well, you heard Coach Ricky Austin right before the start of this third quarter mention that Spring Garden is more than just Ace Austin on the floor as that pass goes out of bounds to Spring Garden.
Let me tell you something about Ace, though, James, that impresses me a lot is the humility that she carries herself with. I mean, you know, in a world where a lot of people like to talk a lot of junk and stuff like that, that's just not her. She just plays.
Well, I'm very interested to see what she does as far as the next level as Brown on dribbles, hands off Jarrett, extra pass to Olivia Law. On the drive, gets free. Good defense by Akia Brown as she forces the turnover.
Got a run out.
Takira Tucker lays it in for 2. Tucker had missed a handful of layups late in the first half as quickly Jarrett for 3. No, as the rebound goes to Handley. Takariana Mosley on the rebound. Turns and misses. No foul called as it is deflected off of Spring Garden. 2 substitutions. Jadazzle Fuller and Christiana Tucker check in for Handley. 4:06 to go in the third quarter. Christiana Tucker inbounds. Handley will have their third try at the basket. Mosley behind the back goes in, misses the layup, but she'll have a trip to the line for 2. So Mosley, first free throw, no good. Handley has struggled from the free throw line, and I think that is now their 5th consecutive miss from the free throw line, as we'll have another free throw coming up for the senior point guard. Mostly free throws up and good. Defensive effort as she wants a 30-second timeout. So after the made free throw, you had Chloe Rule race down the floor and able to convert on an easy fast break layup.
Spring Garden up 57-19. So we're looking at a run.
On Monday, just down Highway 21 at Jacksonville High for Jacksonville and Alexandria.
Boys action from the Ville.
That's right. Actually not too far from almost a home away from home in the postseason for Jack. Handley has it. Tucker finds Fuller for the elbow jumper that's good for 2. Good look that time to Jadazzle Fuller as she was able to get open, as we'll have a tie-up on the fast break coming the other way, and it'll stay with Spring Garden. So Handley only had 12 at half as they've scored 9 so far in this third quarter. Inbounds pass to Rule. Turns, banks it, no. Rebound to Handley. Mosley on the rebound, leads the break. Here's the mid-range jumper, good for Jadazzle Fuller. So Fuller getting some good minutes here in the third quarter. She's had back-to-back mid-range jumpers for Handley. NBA 3 up and no.
Good-looking shot.
To Carrie-Anna Mosley now up to 10. As there you see a good-looking lefty stroke that time for the 3-ball. Ace Austin drives, and she gets clobbered underneath the basket. And look to sit to Carrie-Anna Mosley, got her money's worth on that foul. And so it'll be 2. And makes the first of 2.
Yeah, Handley got their money's worth on that one.
Yeah, you certainly don't necessarily mind the effort that time if you're Courtney's trained screws. Go ahead and make Ace Austin earn the free throws, as only 1 of 2 from the line for Austin.
James, do you think her size for Ace is going to be an issue in the college game at that level?
It could be.
I mean, she's
and have all the other elements as far as ball handling, basketball IQ, and leadership. That can take you a long way. That's the free throw up, and that rolls off for Zenautica Smith. And I think for Ace Austin as well, especially Jarrett as the 3 for Austin, no good. And the rebound goes to Mosley. Takira Tucker behind the defense, stops and misses the little 4-footer as Ace Austin comes in for the rebound. Austin leads the break to Jarrett. Extra pass to Brown. 3, no, as the rebound to Handley. In will be Akira Brown. So check that on the last foul for Handley. It was on to Carrie-Anna Mosley, so she has 3. Out goes Christiana Tucker for Handley. 90 seconds. Handley settles it down as Spring Garden gets back in transition. Takira Tucker will lead the point. Tries to back in, passes it out to Fuller. High post to Smith. Jarrett hustling down the floor, gets the loose ball off the missed shot, and gets her first field goal of the night as 5 of her 7 have come from the free throw line. Here's Tucker open, misses the bank shot. She's had a tough night around the basket offensively as the rebound goes to Spring Garden. 30 seconds to go. Austin stops, pops, got it. To go. Be Mosley traveling, no whistle, however, as Tucker the long deuce no as the rebound to Chloe Rule. 4 seconds to go.
That's an outside NBA 3.
29 for her on the Steph Curry level 3 as we'll take the timeout here on the FNN High School basketball.
Enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
This Austin underhands it as the 3-ball, way too strong for Avery Stewart. Offensive rebound initially to Spring Garden, saved in for the Panthers. Lady Panthers keep it as Stewart will put it on the floor. There's a good look at the far corner. It's a 3-ball in and out, no good for Kristen Lewis. Rebound for Spring Garden as there's a Handley foul on the floor. So the foul goes on the Handley Tigers. That'll be their first here in the fourth quarter. Spring Garden to inbound, close to a 5-second count as Maggie Jarrett receives it just ahead of the 5-second count. Stewart, or check that, Lewis on the dribble, gets away from the double team. As backing it out will be Olivia Law. Expect a lot of the reserves for both of these teams coming down the final minutes of tonight's game. Austin backs it out as we'll have 3 substitutions check in for Handley at the next whistle. Jarrett turns, shoots, and misses as the rebound stays in bounds for Handley. Great effort that time by Spring Garden. Check that as the 3, no good for Avery Stewart as the rebound goes out of bounds to Handley. Coming in for Handley will be Christiana Tucker, as well as Jadaslyn Fuller and Micaiah Seymour. Also, some substitutions coming in for Spring Garden. Under 6 minutes to go in the game as the floater no good for Mosley. Gets her own rebound, and she'll have a chance for the three-point play after getting fouled on the made layup.
Yeah, good hustle there to get that basketball and get it back up and knock that shot down and get a chance to make a three-point play here for her team as the clock continues to run at 5:41 here in the fourth quarter.
Maggie Reedy on the foul, or checking in rather, as Olivia Law on the foul. Mosley makes the free throw, so she converts the three-point play, has 13 to lead Handley in scoring. Both teams will go back into area play on Thursday. Spring Garden hosts Cedar Bluff as Lady Panthers continue a 3-game homestand on Thursday. Ball goes out of bounds and stays with Spring Garden as 2 more subs. Cassidy Arnold and Gracie Williams for Handley come into the game. And also for Handley, they'll open up area play in Class 4A, Area 8 against Munford on Thursday. We approach 5 minutes to go in the game. Here's a good look for Lewis, and she drills the 3.
They can all shoot it, can't they?
Indeed. Kristen,
Bang.
That's right, on her first 3 of the night. Christiana Tucker gets cut off. Here's a long 2. That's way off the mark for Jadaslyn Fuller. Spring Garden up ahead. Lewis, good pass as trying to drive is Stewart. Kicks out to Reedy. Goes in, and she'll get fouled on the way to the basket, and that will be 2 shots coming up for Spring Garden. A good-looking team tonight. Spring Garden having their way with a very solid Handley squad here at Dale Welsh Gymnasium.
Just to any of the other girls' teams in the area that's watching this, you don't want any of this.
Well, I'll tell you what, the bad news for those teams is that, especially for Ace Austin, there's still at least 1 more year and change to go for her. Free throw, no, but there will be a foul on the rebound going, or at least a lane violation. Check that on Spring Garden. So Handley ball in either case as Jadaslyn Fuller trots it up the floor. Nearing 4 minutes to go in tonight's game. In the corners, Arnold loses it and turns it over. Deflection goes to Kristen Lewis, who collects the loose ball. 3 ball up, and that's short, no good for Kristen Lewis. Good hustle that time by Maggie Reedy to save the ball. Spring Garden a second try. Libby Brown for 3. That pops out no good. Loose ball rebound goes to Jadaslyn Fuller. Fuller on the break, and she will have an offensive foul.
Good job getting back and getting her feet set on the defense for Spring Garden, getting the turnover there on the charge.
So Jadaslyn Fuller with her first, third team foul here in the fourth quarter for Handley.
Player control foul.
Indeed. 3:15 to go.
Coach's favorite play.
Spring Garden looking to add to their 69 points tonight, as we'll have a whistle on the entry pass and a foul on Handley. So Spring Garden has now gone over their 67.7 point per game average this season, as we'll have 2 more substitutions for Handley. Michaela Laney, as well as Kaija Houston checks in. So you have a couple of the more reserves come in. Both freshmen for Handley. There's a 3 from Libby Brown. That's good for 3.
Knocks down another one, Libby Brown.
Nothing, at least a little bit of rim, but able to bang it home. Under 2.5 minutes to go as the 3 good from the far corner for Handley. Christiana Tucker on the board with her first 3. Actually a pretty decent look that time, is able to concentrate on the basket and knock home the triple. Libby Brown off the screen, gets past Fuller, floats it up and in, and she'll have a chance for an and 1 at the free throw line.
Wow.
Spring Garden loves that play, especially with Ace Austin, to work that screen around of the wing and then try and get the curl action going. As the free throw up and good for Brown, who has 24.
Another senior performance tonight for Coach Ricky Austin.
Ace Austin leads the way for all scorers with 29 as the loose ball goes out of bounds off at the hands of Kaija Houston. 2 more substitutions. Ella Grace Ogilvie and Addie Suddeth check in for Handley. 75-34, the lead for Spring Garden, as they've been very impressive and look like a state championship quality team tonight. I mentioned a lot of wins still to come for Handley this year, as here's the drive and the layup for Avery Stewart, who's on the board with her first points of the night.
Yeah, no, the Handley gave up on that one. She just blew right by 2 defenders.
1:10 to go. The dribble for Jadaslyn Fuller as she works the point against the man-to-man defense, as we're now at 1 minute to go in the game. Fuller, as he'll be out of bounds as Laney tried to drive, and Fuller and Laney collided, and the turnover to Handley. Might be the final time that we see Spring Garden on offense this evening. Stewart on the drive, dumps it down as the layup good for 2 for Kristen Lewis.
She's had a nice night as well.
So yeah, everyone's had a nice night so far for Spring Garden, as we're under 30 seconds left in tonight's game. Fuller with a high arcing 2, no good, as the rebound to Libby Brown. Behind the defense is Lewis as she misses, and the rebound goes to Handley. Addie Suddeth on the rebound as Fuller with 9. Over to Laney. Back to Fuller at 3, as they'll probably just run out this clock, as Spring Garden easily takes care of Handley tonight on their home floor, 79-34. Ace Austin leads the way with 29 points, and Libby Brown not far behind her with 24, as Spring Garden takes care of Handley. We'll take the timeout and begin our postgame after this.
You understand how your business works, but you may not understand how insurance can work for your business. We have new businesses versus established in different industries. As most people know, that when you're going to an online company, you're calling a 1-800 number anytime you need anything. And if you have a local agent, then the local agent knows you and they understand the history. We can be there to help you out.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
A final from Spring Garden as the Lady Panthers take care of the Lady Tigers from Handley, 79-34, and we'll send it to Jim Jacobs for a whole host of Spring Garden Lady Panthers, including head coach Ricky Austin.
Well, we did see some things that we've been working on in practice lately, and we throwed some new sets in today, and so very, very pleased.
How do you keep a team that is playing this well at this point in the season motivated and still working towards something else?
You know, it's about playing to our standard. It's about practicing to our standard every day, and they believe in that, and they know what's not our standard, and I don't really have to, you know, hold them accountable on that. They handle that amongst themselves, but that's the thing, is we have a standard that we want to play to, and they know when it dips, and obviously I do, and they don't want me to be the one to bring that out. They usually do a good job of taking care of that.
Well, Coach, thanks for the invite to come up tonight and be a part of this, and your team looks awful good. Let me talk to these ladies.
Thank you, and I appreciate what y'all do for basketball and high school sports around, and appreciate y'all coming to the Garden, and welcome back.
GGG.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, let's get in here. We'll start with Libby. Congratulations on a great night.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit about the chemistry on this team and what makes you guys so good together.
Well, I've always said it, we're kind of just like sisters on and off the court, so that kind of just feeds into our game.
How do you guys monitor one another? I mean, you know, Coach says that y'all handle a lot of the stuff, so how do you correct one another and make sure that everybody stays within that standard Coach is talking about?
Well, we always just say, hey, it's okay, next play mentality, and just get back and try your hardest next time.
And how do you continue to get better?
Just keep working every day at practice.
All right, congratulations on a great game, Libby. Come on in here, Ace.
Yes, sir.
Talk about your night tonight.
It was a good night, but it's even a better night when everybody does their part, and that's what we did tonight.
It seemed like you guys came out and were really motivated to prove something this evening.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been a while since we've had a home game, and, you know, when you have a home game, you have a little more energy, you know, what a great crowd and community we have. But, yeah, we're on a mission this year, and our mission is to make it to the very end and win it all. So
you better get used to playing on TV, young lady.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well,
all right, congratulations on a big night and continued success this season.
Thank you. Thank y'all for coming.
All right, you're welcome. That's Ace Austin, and James, I'll throw it back to you. I think we've done about all we can do here tonight.
Absolutely. A Spring Garden led by Ace Austin with 29 points tonight. Libby Brown just behind her at 24 to lead Spring Garden as they had both of those players in double figures. And Handley led by 13 from Takariana Mosley. As you take a look at some of the highlights from tonight's ball game, Libby Brown and Ace Austin and the rest of the Spring Garden Lady Panthers bomb away from the three-point line early and often tonight. Great team basketball as they beat a really good Handley squad out of Class 4A that will be at least a deep postseason contender again this year. And it just shows you how impressive Spring Garden is as far as the talent in Class 1A, but also just how well coached this Lady Panthers team is.
You know, and it's emphasized there, James, as you watch the highlights, just how well they move the basketball around and they play so unselfishly as a team.
Absolutely. As we take a look at Libby Brown nailing one of her 6 3-point baskets of the evening for Spring Garden. As we'll close things out, not only looking at some more highlights, as Mosley with one of her couple of 3-point baskets as far as her 13-point performance. Monday, we'll be back at it not too far away from here, about 20 minutes or so down at Jacksonville High School, as it'll be Alexandria making the short trip over to face their Calhoun County rival on Monday for our next FNN High School basketball game of the week.
Yeah, certainly looking forward to that. As you see the highlights finish up there, and we're back here at the desk. Jacksonville and Alexandria Monday night, 7 o'clock, boys game right here on FNN, presented by S&H Waterproofing and Construction, Bucks Island, and Bama Sheds. And we also want to thank the folks at Perez Flooring for coming on board with us just yesterday for our basketball the remainder of the season. And there's a lot left in the season, James. We're just getting started.
That's right, and really the journey for all of the teams across the state of Alabama just beginning really as the football season when it came to the Super 7 wound down about this time last week. Once again,
speaking of football, let me mention this real quick while we're on the air because we won't be back on until this comes down. Reclassification happens Monday, and I think the stuff comes out Monday before lunchtime. We will post all of that because we're doing basketball. We really can't do our own live show because we'd be spread too thin. But we will certainly be posting that on our Facebook page and our website. A lot of stuff flying around out there about who's going where and who's doing what. We're not going to speculate. We know what we've heard, but we'll wait and see what the AHSAA releases on Monday, and we'll have all that information for all of our viewers.
So a little less than a week away until reclassification for the next 2-year period, as we'll go ahead and put a bow on tonight's telecast as Spring Garden able to win wire to wire this evening over Handley 79-34. So that'll do it here at Dale Welsh Gymnasium. So for Jim Jacobs and our FNN crew, James Hardy signing off as once again your final score, Spring Garden 79 and Handley 34. You've been watching the FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week.
All right.
Take them down, boys.
This has been an exclusive sports production of FNN, the Friday Night Network.
Located in Alexandria, Alabama, Ron's Barbecue is now back open 10 to 8 Wednesday through Sunday. A local, family-owned and operated business, Ron's is providing slow-smoked ribs, barbecue chicken, and more. Known for the huge buffalo chicken tenders and the delicious smash burger, Ron's is perfect for the family night out or a lunchtime meeting. Come on out and try Calhoun County's newest local barbecue restaurant. Come on down!
Get the look of summer year-round at Sunkissed Tanning in Alexandria. Life's an adventure. Adjust as you go. It's the time of year when your schedule is busier than ever. You'll find level 4 bronzing beds, spray tanning, or a tanning booth to meet all your tanning needs. Refer 3 friends and get a free visit. With school back in, maintain your summer color with a full line of enhancer lotions. You'll also find extended hours during the season. Call 256-403-6014 or follow us on Instagram and Facebook for special offers. Sunkissed Tanning, Suite E in the shopping center next to Foodland in Alexandria.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
From the Loft Tackle Store. From the team in service.
From the team in parts.
From the sales team.
From the Bucks Island family, good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
(2023) has proven to be a renaissance season for Oxford Yellow Jackets football as they host and have an opportunity for one of their biggest wins since the 2019 state championship season. Number 2, Clay Chalkville comes into Lamar Field for a critical Class 6A Region 6 matchup that has potential region championship implications. It's the Cougars of Clay Chalkville and the Oxford Yellow Jackets, a meeting between number 2 and number 9 in Class 6A. And we welcome you into the FNN High School Football Game of the Week as our S&H Waterproofing Construction Countdown to Kickoff brings you to our Bluefin Japanese Sushi and Steakhouse Game of the Week here on FNN. James Hardy, Coach Eddie Bullock back with us after a week family assignment. And Coach Eddie Bullock, this is obviously, when you look at Oxford, a storied program here in Calhoun County in their 3rd season now with Coach Sam Adams, and they're off to one of their best starts since their last state championship in 2019. And also for Clay Chalkville, this is a huge game that has a lot of region and as well as positioning for the postseason on the line tonight.
Well, you're talking about one of the best football games of tonight between two top teams, and I think both of them have stated their case, and tonight you're going to see which one comes out on top.
Well, we'll be seeing it from right at the top stands as far as on the home side here at Lamar Field as you take a look at midfield. And first off, we look at Oxford, Eddie, as far as the job that Sam Adams, third-year head coach coming from Hillcrest after the 2020 season in Tuscaloosa. And it was first 2 years kind of a rebuilding. You're really a tough situation for Coach Sam Adams, but those players that were 8th graders, 9th graders, and 10th graders in 2021, they have 3 seasons or more of experience, and they've proven to be one of the top squads in the state so far this year.
Well, he kind of came into a situation that was a little unfair to him, and he had to rebuild, and he had to gain trust back in his players and back in the community, and I think he's done a tremendous job. He's gotten better each year, and hats off to him, man. Hey, I tip my hat to him. He's built this program up, and he's doing a great job.
I tell you, he did an excellent job over in Tuscaloosa as far as building Hillcrest into a consistent and also really kind of a state power when it comes to one of those top 10, 15 teams in the state at Hillcrest for almost about a decade before coming to Oxford. But speaking of consistent, you look at this Clay Chalkville squad for about the last 10 years under Drew Gilmer now, and they've been one of the top programs in Class 6A about the last 7 years.
Hey, well, you said it. I mean, they've been consistent year after year, and, I think even this year, I think they've upped the ante a little bit. I think they competing with the Thompsons and all, and I think they're making a statement this year.
And absolutely a statement to be made by one of these two teams tonight. It's 7-0 Clay Chalkville, and then 6-1 Oxford. Both teams undefeated at 4-0 in Class 6A Region 6. So if Oxford can win, they still have to beat Center Point next week to claim that top spot in the region. While if Clay Chalkville wins tonight, they will get the top spot in the region when it comes to postseason play. Our FNN Game of the Week this evening brought to you by Bluefin Japanese Sushi and Steakhouse. They are now open in the Oxford Exchange, and FNN was there very recently as far as at least getting a feel as far as the food, atmosphere, and everything when it came to Bluefin Japanese Sushi and Steakhouse.
The Food Barn in Raglan offers the best in good old-fashioned hometown service when you're shopping for groceries, plus the latest ways to get great food specials your way. Click on RaglanFoodBarn.com. Follow the Food Barn on Facebook and listen to the River for weekly specials.
Where you can get everything you need from down on the farm and it won't cost you a leg or an arm.
And they're open 7 days a week. For the best cuts on quality meats, great service, and great prices, it's the Food Barn in Raglan.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
From the Loft Tackle Store.
From the team in service.
From the team in parts.
From the sales team.
From the Bucks Island family, good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
That Joe Biden and Hunter Biden were paid $10 million in bribes.
The floodgates are literally open here.
Mike Rogers is standing up to crooked Joe Biden in D.C. Mike Rogers is our way of fighting back.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNN Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnn.bank. Member FDIC.
SNH Waterproofing and Construction brings you our countdown to kickoff, and Bluefin Japanese Sushi and Steakhouse, our FNN High School football game of the week. James Hardy, Coach Eddie Bullock, and we'll bring in our very own Jim Jacobs, because we have one of the biggest games in the entire state, but still a lot of other big ones across the Yellowhammer State tonight.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to top this one, though, isn't it, Coach?
Absolutely. Hey, this one for the ages tonight.
All right, well, I guess it's time for us to start talking about games around the area that we care about tonight. And let's start with one that, you know, we would have never really thought this not too long ago. Montford at White Plains, with the Wildcats having a chance to capture a playoff spot. Eddie, did you ever think you'd live to see it?
Hey, not these two teams. I mean, you know, Montford has been great in the past, and, you know, White Plains has been trying to build, but, hey, tonight is probably one of the biggest games, you know, not record-wise, but one of the biggest games in this area tonight.
Who you got, James?
You know, I like the job that Blake Jennings has done with his squad over the last really about month of the season. I'm going to go with White Plains at home tonight.
All right, he's got the Wildcats. I kind of like White Plains to win this one as well. I think White Plains is due, and although it's not a great season, hey, if you get in, you're in, and who knows what happens after that, right, Eddie?
Right. I'm going with White Plains, too. I think they got something big to shoot for, and I think they're going to pull it out.
All right, let's talk about Weaver and Walter Wellborn. This one's happening over on the hill. It's a region battle as well. Weaver got a win last week, but Wellborn probably got a bigger win, Coach, down at Frog Hollow down in Wedowee over Randolph County.
Absolutely. I just don't see Weaver. Weaver's having a great year this year, but I just don't see him going in on the hill up there. So I'm going with my buddy Jeff Smith on the hill.
I'm with you there, Coach, as well. Walter Wellborn, especially at home, to at least get one step closer to clinching a region championship.
Yeah, I'm in there with the Panthers as well. Next up, has Etowah got a chance, guys?
Well, I think it's slim, but they have a chance. But, hey, Cherokee County is a machine, man. So I just, you know, I think Etowah takes an L tonight.
You know, Eddie, it's been a while since we've had a team that has been as favored from the preseason all the way into the playoffs as we've seen with Cherokee County.
Oh, they look great, man.
Hey, that's the coach. They look great. We're all with the Warriors there, I think.
Without question.
All right, next up, this one's the Battle for the Bridge over on Highway 411, where we will be next week for the Battle of FNN's belt. But tonight, Moody and Leeds hook it up, and Homer smiles. Coach, what you think?
Well, that's a tough one for me. You know, Moody's playing great, and Leeds is playing great as well, you know, and as you say sometime, I think this can be a trap game right here, but I think I'm gonna lean toward Leeds a little bit tonight.
I had a guy tell me from Moody, we were over there advancing next week's game earlier this week, and I had a guy tell me that Leeds plays 3 points better anytime they play Moody than when they play anybody else. So But I'm with the Blue Devils tonight, James. I think Moody's going to go in there and get the job done.
And especially after Leeds going to Moody last year and picking up that 14-13 win, I think there's a lot riding on this for Moody as far as just this rivalry. So, yeah, I'm going with the Blue Devils as well.
All right, Moody Blue Devils as our countdown to kickoff continues. Next up on the big ones, this is a huge one tonight. Can Hoax Bluff go into Sylvania and knock off the Rams?
I think they're going to go in and give them a good game, but I think Sylvania is going to be just a little bit too strong for them at home, and I'm going with Sylvania.
I think this is a good matchup for Hoax Bluff, and I think they'll be in it in the fourth quarter, but I don't know if they'll have enough offense to be able to get the W on the road, so for that, I'll pick Sylvania.
Yeah, I might be wrong here, but I think this is a less than 10-point game, but I think the Rams are just a little too much, especially with that running attack for Coach Mike Robertson's Eagles, so I like Sylvania to come out with the win tonight in this one. All right, next up, here's an interesting one. Arab at Gunnersville tonight. A couple of teams that really don't like one another very much. Kind of a pretty good little rivalry game, and there's region implications in this one, Eddie.
Yeah, they're close to each other, and it's like you said, hey, you can about throw a rock at each other, and I don't think they care too much for each other. And again, this is one of those where you said trap games, but I'm going to go with Arab on this one.
Arab scoring 63 last week against Boaz, coming off an open week as well prior to that for Arab. So I think Arab gets it at home tonight as well.
Yeah, Arab didn't just take over the pirate ship last week. They took the sails and all with it when they left town. All right, next up here for you on our big ones. This is interesting. Winterboro and Wadley tonight down at Wadley.
Well, I think Winterboro, they play well in spurts to me, and I think Wadley just going to be too much for them on the road, though, and I'm going with Wadley on this one.
Yeah, Wadley's had a great season, and so even on the road, I like them to get the W as well.
Yeah, I like Wadley in this one as well. Give it to the Bulldogs. All right, next up in our big ones. Boy, this is huge, Coach. Piedmont on the road at Geraldine tonight, and we talked about this in our pregame show down on the field earlier. If Piedmont could go into Geraldine tonight and then win against Hoax Bluff next week, guess what? Jonathan Miller is at home in round 1 of the playoffs.
And that sounds great, but I just think Geraldine gonna have too much. I think those Bulldogs gonna have too much for the Piedmont Bulldogs. So until Coach Miller does it, I'm going with those Geraldine Bulldogs.
Yeah, I could see Piedmont being early fourth quarter still in this ball game, but I like Geraldine as well.
All right, Geraldine, we're all three in for the Bulldogs in purple as our countdown to kickoff continues. Pleasant Valley, big road game today at Southeastern tonight, Coach. If the Raiders can find a way to kind of get that winning form back, they'll have a chance to host in round 1 of the playoffs, and they'll take a big step toward that tonight with a win over Southeastern.
And watch this. I'm going with PV tonight. I think they're going to go and get it done, and they're going to host that game.
Woo!
Interesting.
James is in shock up there.
A little bit. Well, Pleasant Valley's lost 3 in a row after starting the season winning their first 4. I'm not sure if Pleasant Valley gets it done tonight, so I'm picking Southeastern.
I'm with James on this one, Coach. You on that island by yourself, buddy. All right, and of course that gets us to right here tonight at Lamar Field, Clay Chalkville and Oxford 6A Region 6, Eddie. This game is just huge.
It is. I mean, this is high implications for this game right here.
All right, we're going to pause for our national anthem. We'll be back to kind of finish breaking this one down when we continue here on FNN's Game of the Week.
Tonight's performance of the national anthem will be performed by the Oxford Middle School Choir. The Oxford Middle School Concert Choir is a non-auditioned group of 7th and 8th grade singers. The choir meets during the school day each day as an elective course and is open to any student who wants to learn how to sing or become a better singer. The choir performs 2 major concerts each year. The students also have the opportunity to participate in all-state choir auditions, solo and ensemble, honor choir, and the All-State Choir Festival and State Choral Performance Assessment. The OMS Choir is under the direction of Christina Cisco. Choir Council President is Kenley Wade. Vice President is Maria Schultz. And Social Chair is Marley Freeman. Our national anthem will be performed by the Oxford High School alma mater, will be followed by the Oxford High School alma mater. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Our national anthem from Lamar Field here on the campus of Oxford High School as SNH Waterproofing and Construction presents to you our countdown to kickoff. And a huge game, one of the biggest games in the state of Alabama, regardless of classification tonight. Number 2, Clay Chalkville at 8-2 last season, 7-0 already here in 2023. And Oxford already surpassing their win total from the entirety of the 2022 season, as there's still 3 games remaining for the Oxford Yellow Jackets under third-year head coach Sam Adams.
I've got a question for Eddie James. Excuse me for jumping in here on you, but Coach, how do you keep a game like this from being too big for the kids?
Well, you really don't. I mean, this is what you want. You want to be in this situation where you have an opportunity to win the region, or possibly win the region at home. And, you tell them, you play the underdog role. You tell them that, hey, you got to knock them off the heel. And that's the way I would approach it. And, it keeps the kids hungry.
We'll have the coin toss here in just a moment as we'll take the timeout here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. One of the top games in the Yellowhammer State this evening, as number 2 Clay Chalkville makes their way east on I-20 to take on the Oxford Yellow Jackets, ranked number 9 in the state of Alabama in Class 6A this week. As there you see the captains for Clay Chalkville across the way. Patrick Smith Jr., one of those, along with number 64 Adrian Spivey. And the captains for Oxford out of their pregame locker room as they're making their way to midfield. And we'll have the coin toss and captains meetings brought to you this evening by A Mama's Touch.
Number 46, Gary Smith.
So we'll send it down to midfield for our opening coin toss.
For For the Yellow Jackets, number 10, Keenan Britt.
Mr. Stevens, both of them were 2 of your officials tonight. That comes from
number 5,
sportsmanship. We ask that you show good sportsmanship. Start now, the whole content. Let's make sure we keep pads our knees covered, pads, mouthpieces in. Help us with your teammates. Okay. Let's take. Rob. His heads. If I drop it, we'll do it again. Oxford, you want to toss? Oxford has won the toss and elected to defer. All right, that means y'all want the ball, right? Which end do y'all want to be in? All right, over there. Put your back over here. Shake hands, guys. Let's get them ready.
So there you see the Oxford Yellow Jackets win the opening coin toss, and they elect to defer their option to the second half. So Clay Chalkville will be receiving to begin tonight's class top 10 matchup in Class 6A. And Eddie, before we get things kicked off, give us your keys to tonight's ball game.
Well, I think both teams, you're going to have to establish something at the line of scrimmage, because both teams going to kind of be jittery. I think you're going to have to control the nerves in the game. Both teams going to have to, play on the control, which means limiting penalties, And then I think whoever established that run game, I think the run game is going to bring the passing game along.
I know that's something we were talking about as well earlier as far as our Bluefin pregame. For Oxford, they've had some solid success with a 1-2 combo at running back of DK Wilson and Jaden Thomas. Jaden Thomas, more of the between the tackles power runner, and DK Wilson, the one that excels out in space. As here comes the Cougars of Clay Chalkville out onto the playing surface, an artificial field turf here at Lamar Field. As Clay Chalkville, number 2 in Class 6A, according to the ASWA Top 10 rankings for Class 6A. And waiting momentarily for the number 9 Oxford Yellow Jackets to make their way out of the pregame locker room. Obviously, a big week for the Oxford program, opening their brand new, gorgeous athletic facility. Not only a football facility, but be able to be used by all of the sports, really the entire school when it comes to Oxford High School, a brand spanking new, beautiful weight room and athletic facility here on the campus of Oxford High School.
Well, that's the idea of a program. That's what you want, something like that, and it's beautiful.
That indeed. The Oxford Yellow Jackets still waiting to come out onto the field. Looks as if all of the team is just come out, and now the Oxford Yellow Jackets make their way out onto Lamar Field. 2 consecutive playoff appearances for Coach Sam Adams in his first 2 seasons, and Oxford will be going to the postseason again, but this has been by far their best season since their state championship season of 2019. 6-1 overall, 4-0 in Class 6A Region 6, as we're about ready to get things started here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. Perez Flooring brings you our opening quarter, and we're about to see the first kickoff of this game thanks to our friends at Young's Heating and Air Care. So settle in, as this should be one of the best matchups of the season across the state of Alabama. Not only this evening, but really the entire regular season up to now. As Oxford looking to clinch a win today to at least get what would be at worst next week, at least an opportunity for a share, if not an outright region championship, and Clay Chalkville can secure a number 1 seed out of Region 6 in the postseason with a win tonight. So Oxford will go on defense first as Ray Barrera, a veteran place kicker for the Yellow Jackets, will kick things off. And across the way, it'll be the Cougars of Clay Chalkville set to receive, and it'll be check that Mario Craver, the deep man for the Cougars of Clay Chalkville. Toe meets leather, and we're underway. End over end kick to the far side, fielded at the 15-yard line. And good blocking off to the far side for Kumar Robinson as he advances it across the 30-yard line. So first down and 10 on the way for Drew Gilmer's Clay Chalkville Cougar offense as Congressman Mike Rogers presents you our starting lineups. And it'll be Jalen Mbakwe, the starter. A very elusive player as far as that quarterback position in the open field, according to the game prep for Coach Sam Adams and Oxford High School. They'll spot the ball at the 34-yard line. Keeper for Mbakwe. And solid defense that time by the front seven for Clay Chalkville. You had Tapley, among others, helping out on the tackle. Looking at the rest of the Clay Chalkville offense, Aaron Osley, the starting running back, Craver, Compton, along with Barber and Robinson, your receivers. Bravis Cave, the tight end. And Jones, Williams, Phillips, Spivey, and McCroy, your offensive linemen. That's from left tackle to right tackle. Give up the middle to Osley as he'll get spun around and taken down about the 40-yard line. Advances to the 41, so the first third down scenario awaits the Clay Chalkville Cougars.
3rd and 3.
Looking at the Oxford defense, you have Caleb Tenner at the nose guard, Donovan Jones and Keenan Britt at the defensive ends. Desmond Whitson and Jaez Fleming, the outside linebackers. James Tapley and Hudson Gilman are the inside linebackers. Line to reach at the first down, the 44. Osley up the middle, first down, and Morris, he pile drives into midfield for the opening first down from On-Time Fashions.
Well, Clay Chalkville on that particular play, they knocked Oxford back off of that. I mean, they knocked the defensive line back about 3 to 4 yards.
Rest of the Oxford defense, you have Christian Gibson and Latrevion Figures as the cornerbacks. Judd Sire and Cedric Twyman are your safeties. 1st and 10 from midfield. Play action, under pressure. Mbakwe keeps and goes out of bounds just shy of the first down, and maybe, let's see where they spot the football, but still a rock-solid 9 yards on first down.
Well, James, talking to a few of my colleagues about this kid at quarterback, man, they tell me that he's one of the fastest kids at that position in the state of Alabama. They say he has afterburners.
Yes, Coach Sam Adams told me yesterday, Eddie, that at least one of his high emphasis for his defense is not to let him get in the open field. Good enough for an On-Time Fashion. First down is there's a big hit on the pitch back for Oxford defensively. Hudson Gilman comes up with the tackle.
And Gilman did a great job. He actually took the offensive lineman and he ran him into the running back. It's a great job, man. Great job.
Osley with the carry on our Oxford Lumber Ace Hardware replay. And so that'll be a 1-yard loss to set up a 2nd down and 11. Opening drive of this game. Drive started at their own 34 for Clay Chalkville. So 2nd and 11. The keeper from Mbakwe gets around one tackler and dives forward inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Drive has taken almost the first 3 minutes of the opening quarter as another 3rd down awaits Clay Chalkville. Clay Chalkville trying to stay undefeated in regular season play, as this is at least the 8th game of the season for both teams. 3rd down, 3 yards to go. 30 the line to reach for the first down. And Mbakwe awaits the snap. 3 receivers to the far side. Keeper for Mbakwe. Gets around 1 tackler. Has the first down and goes out of bounds. A solid drive as that's now 2 3rd down conversions for Clay Chalkville. Another on-time fashions first down.
Well, and he just run the football so easily. I mean, it's just like he floating on wind out there. I mean, you can see the speed. I mean, I was interested in watching him play, you know, from hearing some of the coaches talk about him.
Oh yeah, definitely a smooth operator out there as he gets his 2nd first down carry of the night. Man in motion, quick throw complete to the near side. 20-15, and taken down just shy of the 10-yard line is Osley, the running back, and that will be another on-time fashions first down.
It's just a little tailback bubble right there. You know, they got good blocking on the perimeter. The safety comes down and make a play, but it's after, you know, he completes the first down right there. So, you know, great offensive call.
Very impressive drive so far for Clay Chalkville as they've converted on 2 3rd down opportunities, and they now have a 1st and goal from the 10.
And they're mixing it up now. You see the run game with the passing game, and that was one of the keys I told you about. You got to establish that running game.
Snap, and the quick throw over the middle, too far, incomplete.
Got a flag on that play right there. You got a quick slant. You got to hold on.
Kumar Robinson, the intended receiver, as we'll check out the flag here near the end zone.
Well, you could see it. I mean, it got a wide split.
So a pass interference issued on Oxford, the first penalty of the game for either team. So they'll move the football inside the 10. That's a half the distance penalty.
Yellow Jackets penalized half the distance.
So a half the distance penalty will make it a 1st and goal from the 5. Been mostly Jalen Mbakwe that's gotten the job done with his legs, the senior quarterback, as he'll have backs flanked alongside him. Give up the middle. Osley stretches for the end zone, and he's in for the touchdown.
Osley takes it in for the touchdown.
Impressive opening drive for Clay Chalkville as they take it 66 yards in almost 4 minutes to put the first points on the board.
Well, just inside zone right there. You're going to see him hand it off right there. Got great blocking up. The running back almost overran the play. He had a huge hole up the middle behind the center.
Aaron Osley with a 5-yard touchdown run. Makes it 6-0 in favor of Clay Chalkville. Extra point on the way. Antoine Ellison handling the kicking duties. Kick on the way. That is up, and that is good. So we'll take the timeout. 7-0 in favor of Clay Chalkville, as Oxford will come with their opening drive after this timeout.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
The FNN High School football game of the week takes you to Lamar Field here in Oxford. Already Clay Chalkville going 64 yards on their opening drive, capped off by a 5-yard touchdown run by Aaron Osley. Oxford ready for their opening offensive possession. Antoine Ellison will kick off. Clay Chalkville in the white tops. Toe meets leather. End over end kick to the far side. It'll be fielded right around the end zone, as it'll be taken out to about the 20-yard line for D.K. Wilson. Our first quarter brought to you by Perez Flooring. And Oxford needing to get some sort of response after Clay Chalkville was able to drive it down the field in their opening possession.
They were able to take that one down pretty easily, stay consistent. It's going to be interesting how Oxford respond.
So as we take a look at the Oxford offense, courtesy of Congressman Mike Rogers, it'll be Mason Mims at quarterback, the junior.
Mason Mims is your quarterback.
Already getting some D1 looks as far as maybe his collegiate career. Give goes right up the middle and big running room for Jaden Thomas as he'll get close to the first down. Very solid blocking right in the middle of the offensive line for Oxford, as that will move the sticks on an on-time fashion. First down.
It's a great run, a little inside zone right there. This is a great run right there. Great blocking up front.
DK Wilson will also be the other running back. Quick throw to the far side. That'll be complete to Richardson as he gets taken down right at the line of scrimmage. So no gain, as it was Deion Callens for Clay Chalkville, the cornerback, on the stop. Rest of the Oxford offense, you have Kamari Hampton, the Lincoln transfer at wide receiver. Nick Hampton and Jaden Lewis, the tight ends. Rashad Cunningham, Jaden Beck, Jaden Young, Kevin Wheat, and also Conley from left tackle to right tackle on the offensive line. Play action throw, and that'll be complete to Richardson. Has room in the open field and wrapped up for the first down, just shy of the 45-yard line.
That's a great move right there. He had to make one guy miss, and he made him miss. Great.
So for on-time fashions, first down for Oxford. Already their second first down this drive. Mims awaits the snap. Pressure coming, and the throw, it might have been affected by one of those pass rushers as the ball goes incomplete. And I tell you what, Eddie, Oxford is very lucky that was not a fumble on the play.
Right. He came from his backside, and that's being a right-handed quarterback, that left tackle has to do a better job at protecting the quarterback blind side.
Patrick Smith, Randall Cole, and Avion Pickett, your defensive linemen. As a 2nd and 10 awaits Oxford. Roll out for Mims. Throws, and that is complete. Shy of the first down for Kamari Hampton. That will be an 8-yard gain, so it's going to set up a third down and short for the Oxford Yellow Jackets.
That's a great throw on the run right there. He was on a full sprint and threw that football, man. That's a great throw.
Approaching the halfway point of this first quarter. A 5-yard touchdown run rather for Aaron Osley on a 64-yard opening drive for Clay Chalkville. 3rd and 2. Give goes to Thomas, cuts it up, has the first down and more. Inside the 40, still on his feet, and wrapped up inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Big time run that time by Jaden Thomas, who had the game-winning touchdown 2 weeks ago against Pell City for a big time, on-time fashions first down.
Well, that's a great run right there. Once he got through the initial line of scrimmage, the rest of it was on him, and he showed a burst of speed too. So Oxford is responding extremely well now with this.
Perez Flooring brings you our opening quarter. Throw toward the end zone, and there's a flag on the play. A flag on the play, likely to be another first down via penalty.
Well, James, you see how similar the drives are right here. Oxford goes down and does a crossing route with 2 deep post routes and get a penalty on the play, and they get half the distance to the goal, just like Clay Chalkville did earlier. So the drives are very, very similar.
Oxford Lumber, Ace Hardware presents you that replay, and this is a Martin's Pharmacy red zone trip for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Ball just inside the 10, a 1st and goal for Oxford. Give goes to Thomas, dances in the at least what was a hole, and gets back to the line of scrimmage. So nothing doing that time. A solid defensive effort by Clay Chalkville, looking at their linebackers, Rod Ivey and Nicarius Allen the outside backers. Carlos Ivy, DJ Barber, the inside linebackers. And the corners are Callens and Jamarcus Jones, and Xavier Starks and Dion Gunn, the safeties. 2nd and goal. Give to Thomas, and he gets wrapped up for about a yard. Good pursuit that time by Clay Chalkville, especially from Carlos Ivy, as that'll set up a 3rd down and goal from the 9. So a big play coming up for Oxford. Now, Eddie, obviously, if you're Oxford, you don't want to turn the ball over. You got 3 in the bag, but you want to score a touchdown here.
Absolutely. You want to match what they did, to show them, hey, whatever you do, we can do better.
3rd down and goal to go from the 9.
I think you'll see some kind of crossing route down there because the receivers are sort of close. So they're going to try to confuse the safety and the corner. And there it is right there.
Here's Mims under pressure, still on his feet, and now slammed down back at the 11-yard line. Huge sack that time for Clay Chalkville.
You just didn't have time to throw it, but you got a rub route down at the bottom. I figured, they gave a wide split and then they came in closer together. So normally they're going to try to do some type of a rub route to confuse the secondary.
Nakarius Allen with the sack for Clay Chalkville. Ray Barrera comes out for a 29-yard field goal. Almost a straight-on kick for Barrera. Low snap. Good hold, though, and the kick on its way, and it's off the upright right side. No good. Timeout as Oxford does not come away with points, as Clay Chalkville still maintains a 7-0 lead late in the first quarter.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Clay Chalkville off the sideline as far as their offense. 1st and 10 from the 20. Here's the jet sweep give going to the far side as Oxford contains Kamari McClellan that time. Actually an Oxford transfer listed as a quarterback on the roster, but playing, at least on that play, as a wide receiver.
Well, I think he made a mistake. He tried to turn it up inside, and he probably should have kept it to the outside. He had excellent perimeter blocking, but he tried to turn it up.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10. No gain for McClellan on 1st down. 2nd drive of the first quarter for Clay Chalkville. McClellan in motion. Keeper for Mbakwe. Big room up the middle as he fights his way close to the 1st down. In fact, where they spot that, that's going to be an 11-yard gain and more than good enough for the on-time Fashions 1st down.
He just get on you so quick, man. He once he picks his holes, his explosion is so quickly. He accelerates so fast.
Oxford Lumber with that 2nd look. Also, our FNN Game of the Week brought to you every week by Victory Law. A fairly rapidly played first quarter as we're already under 3 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Mbakwe rolls, looks for help, tucks, and will go out of bounds for minimal yardage across the 30. Solid defense that time, and I imagine, Eddie, that's the type of containment defense that Sam Adams wants to see out of his team.
Hey, you got to have that, but, you also got to make sure that when he's scrambling like that the secondary stays attached because, he looked downfield until he stepped out of bounds, so you don't want to let him stop and throw one crossed up to a wide-open receiver for an easy touchdown.
Gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd and long. I formation now. Give to Osley on the counter as he'll snake his way for about a couple to the 35-yard line.
Old school. That's one of my favorites, you know, that counter trap right there.
We know you love. In fact, I love the old school football as well, Eddie. So I imagine if I had played football, I probably could have played for you, man.
Absolutely. Hey, that's one of my favorite plays, that counter trap. You get in the eye, and we're going to block down, and kick out.
Third down, line to reach the 41 for the first down. Big play for Oxford to try and get off the field. Play action. Pressure coming, throws over the middle, and that is complete at midfield for the first down and more, as that is a huge play for Clay Chalkfield to keep their offense on the field as Corey Barber pulls down for a big third down conversion catch.
And if you look, James, he's keeping his eyes downfield. I mean, those guys getting good. He steps up in the pocket, throws it right over the linebacker's head, and, it's just a great throw, man. So,
That is what a dual threat quarterback, Eddie, can do for you.
Absolutely. He's a total package, man. He run it, he can throw it.
1st and 10 in Oxford territory. Give to Osley. He's stacked up and wrapped up, led by Hudson Gilman, the linebacker, one of the inside backers for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Approaching the 1 minute mark, still about 1:15 remaining in the opening quarter. Clay Chalkfield already scoring on a 64-yard opening possession touchdown, capped off by Osley's 5-yard run. So Clay Chalkfield also avoiding at least an Oxford potential touchdown as Ray Pereira doinked a 29-yard field goal off the right upright. 2nd and long. Keeper for Mbakwe. Tries to outrun a defender and has to go out of bounds for a loss, Eddie. Excellent defense that time by Oxford defensively, especially on the edge, to force the quarterback to go out of bounds for a loss.
Absolutely. He ran out of bounds, but what I'm looking at is how he accelerated away from the guy that had contained. I mean, the guy was outside him 2 yards, and he just ran by it.
Clock stops at 41.7 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. So it'll be 3rd down and 11. The first down line is just inside the 32-yard line of Oxford. Play action, pressure coming, and the toss complete far side. And that's going to be close, and extra effort. I believe, Eddie, that's going to be just good enough for an on-time Fashions first down for Osley, the running back.
Yeah, I think he did when he ducked his head right there and he lowered his shoulder right there. Boom, he got it. Didn't go out of bounds. He kind of stayed up, and made a great second effort. Was great.
We'll have a couple substitutions for the Oxford Yellow Jackets defensively. That's already the 4th time actually, Eddie, that Clay Chalkfield has converted on 3rd down in this quarter.
Well, I think they don't panic on 3rd down. They know they got an ace in the hole.
Or check that they said that was shy of the first down, a fumble on the play, and Oxford says they have it. And Oxford does have it, so that is a big momentum changer for the Oxford Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, I think one of the upbacks may have gotten in the way of the snap right there.
Honestly, Eddie, I thought Aaron Osley had gotten the first down on 3rd down, and apparently the officials at the far side must have said that his foot was out of bounds prior to crossing the first down marker. And so that is a huge break, not only on the fumble recovery, but on that 3rd down play.
Yeah, let's look at it again right here. Yeah, see, it hit the up back right there. The snap was counted to the inside, so he never got it right there.
Oxford's offense out on the field. Delay give, and immediately wrapped up is Jaden Thomas. Or check that, DK Wilson, his first carry, as he doesn't get much of anything, as that will be the final play of the opening quarter.
2nd and 13 for the
Perez Flooring brings you our first quarter. And so far, it's been Clay Chalkfield, as they've been able to score on a 64-yard opening drive, capped off by an Aaron Osley 5-yard touchdown run. We're through 1 quarter of play here at Lamar Field. It's Clay Chalkfield 7 and Oxford 0.
Ace is the place for paint because only Ace offers the Extra Mile Promise. We'll help you get everything you need to paint in one trip, or we'll deliver it free. Premium paint, award-winning service, and the Extra Mile Promise. Ace is the place for paint. Around the block, what you need in stock with service so good it's guaranteed.
At Oxford Lumber, Jacksonville Home Center, Talladega Home Center, Roanoke Home Center, or online at oxfordlumber.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Versus number 9 in Class 6A here at Lamar Field in Oxford. And so far, it's been number 2 Clay Chalkville leading 7-0. They scored on their opening drive of the game, but Oxford was able to take it inside the 10-yard line, but Ray Pereira missed on a 29-yard field goal off the right upright. So Oxford also recovering a fumble on Clay Chalkville's last possession on a 4th and very short. Second quarter brought to you by Couch's Jewelers, and also our FNN Game of the Week brought to you by our friends at FNN Bank. So it'll be 2nd and long. DK Wilson lost 3 on his opening carry of the night. Mims dumps it to Wilson, complete far side. Spins out of one tackle, and then he's gang tackled across the 35 at around the 37 or 38-yard line. But solid play call there, solid execution for Oxford as they have a 3rd and manageable coming up.
Absolutely, that was a great call right there. And Clay Chalk was corners and safeties are playing extremely soft, and Oxford got that all night at the way they play. And they playing the safeties playing about 12 yards back, and the corners back are 7 to 8 yards back. So, you know, I would exploit that all night.
Here's the give going to Thomas. Shy of the first down, in fact, had trouble turning the corner that time. Good defense on the perimeter by Clay Chalkville to string it out and force a punting situation. So it'll be a 3-and-out. Solid D by Clay Chalkville as Hudson Gilman will have his first punting opportunity of the night. Also the first time that we will see for Clay Chalkville, Mario Craver set to return. Craver at his own 20-yard line. Last play maybe got back to the line of scrimmage for Jayden Thomas. Rush comes, and that is that's blocked. So it'll be Oxford picking it up, and Clay Chalkville coming up with a huge special teams play, a quick turn of the field position, and so it'll be 1st and 10 in Oxford territory for Clay Chalkville on that Oxford Lumber replay.
Oh, man, he came up through the middle like a bolt of lightning, man. I mean, he almost took it off his foot.
And that's how you draw it up as far as that punt rush, Eddie.
Absolutely. If we can look at that again, he probably could have took the ball when he threw it in there to punt it.
Yeah, could have just taken that away and run with it for a score. So this puts Oxford's defense in a bind as the football at the Yellow Jackets' 33-yard line.
Well, I guess they're making up for the fumble that they had. You know, they.
Mbakwe fakes, throws toward the end zone, and caught for the touchdown. So Clay Chalkville strikes quickly as Craver comes up with the touchdown. 43 yards on the reception and a big blow for the Oxford defense.
Oh, that's beautiful, the play action right there. And he just, he just dropped it right off, and he looked like Tim Tebow on that play right there.
A smooth lefty pass that time. First touchdown, actually, for Mbakwe. As the PAT coming up for the Ellison.
This kid has a total package, you know. I heard he did, but so far he's been very impressive.
There's your PAT that's up and good for Ellison. We'll take the timeout as Clay Chalkville cashes in on the block punt to make it 14-0.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns. Locally and family owned with the best customer service. custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
Young's Heating and Air Care with the kickoff as Clay Chalkville leads 14-0 here on the FNN High School football game of the week. Of course, the kickoff occurring right before we could come back from commercial break, but no worries since it was a standard Ellison touchback that time on the kickoff. Young's Heating and Air Care brings you all of our kickoffs this evening. So Clay Chalkville going on defense now as Thomas on the call. Right side taken down about the 23-yard line. DJ Barber helping out on the tackle for Clay Chalkville. Early moments of the second quarter, and Clay Chalkville was able to cash in on a blocked punt on special teams, and a couple plays later they got a 43-yard touchdown bomb from Mbakwe to Craver. So Oxford needs once again to come up with an answer on offense. Mims, he'll throw down the field, one-on-one coverage into Hampton. That is incomplete, but a flag on the play.
Well, he kind of rolled him a little bit too much there. He made contact, got there early. That's a great call. He got there a little bit early. He saw the play, but he just got there a little bit early.
Oxford Lumber shows you the arm for Mims. Actually a really good throw.
If you look right there, he's already on him right here. And, I mean, he just clearly he got there too soon. You know, it's a great play at the end, but he just got there a little too soon.
Kamari Hampton.
On the defense, 15-yard penalty. Results of the penalty. First down.
Tevis Metcalf on the penalty for Clay Chalkville. Kamari Hampton, the intended receiver for Oxford. So that is an on-time Fashions first down via the yellow hanky. First and 10 for Oxford from their own 38. Clay Chalkville shows blitz. Delay give goes to Thomas up the middle, and he's wrapped up at the ankles at the 40-yard line. That was a pretty good play call, actually, for Oxford on that draw play, but even better defense on the reaction from Clay Chalkville.
Right, they kind of played that collegiate style, like they kind of just took up space right there and just kind of let the running back run into them. He couldn't find the hole, so, you know, that's what we call a stalemate.
Four-man front for Clay Chalkville, second and long. Mims drops the exchange on the handoff and has to fall on it back at the 35-yard line. Tough break that time for Oxford, as looked as if, not sure if that was going to be a play fake or just the give to Thomas, but it results in a 5-yard loss that time to set up third down, and we'll call it 13.
Right here, you have to watch for a screen. You know, they may run a deep post play that they got the pass interference on, but right here you can only run a screen or draw, you know, because in a short, the intermediate route, it's not going to be enough to get a first down.
Mims under pressure, rolls, still on his feet, and he'll stumble down behind the line of scrimmage back at the 33-yard line. That's great pressure, Eddie, from the front four for Clay Chalkville. When you can get pressure with just four, then it makes the offense's life very difficult.
Hey, that D-line for Clay Chalkville is extremely fast. Hey, those guys are getting pressure, and, you know, they big, too. Now they extremely big.
Punting time, rather, for Oxford. Gilman to punt.
We'll see if they set up the return or if they're going after the block again.
Yeah, it looks as if Mario Craver set to return. And then over in punt. They'll be fielded at the 20. And check that, Robinson goes ahead and falls forward to about the 45-yard line.
Craver returns.
So it was right originally, was Craver that returned. He's had a big night so far, already with a 43-yard touchdown reception. And Clay Chalkville wants to really put some cushion, and even more so, try and put this game away here in the second quarter as they're up 14-0 with rock-solid field position. So the Clay Chalkville Cougars, number 2 in Class 6A, come out onto the field offensively. Mbakwe going to pop pass it toward the near side, and a flag on the play as that'll be a big first down and more as Robinson in the open field. He'll take it to the end zone for the touchdown, but there's a flag way upfield. You knew it. We both knew it, really, Eddie, right when that flag came out. And it was just as Craver turned the corner on his way to the end zone, but negate that play on a flag.
Well, and I'll tell you something that I'm noticing about Clay Chalkville. I've seen about 4 kids that can really run. You know, the quarterback is exceptional, and I'm looking at 3 or 4 other kids. Like, once he got in the open field, he just accelerated, distance. So, I mean, this team is fast, man.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot. First down.
Yeah, there's a reason why they were able to beat Thompson just, 2 weeks ago as far as the biggest win in the state of Alabama so far this year. It'll be a 1st and 20. Mbakwe flips it far side complete. Good defense by the Oxford Yellow Jackets, as it'll be the tackle by Donovan Jones, the defensive end.
And just something conservative, after you have a big penalty like that, you don't want to try to get it all back in one play. You want to do something kind of conservative to make sure you stay positive.
Already under 7 minutes remaining in the opening half. Not a lot of penalties for both of these teams so far. And really not a lot of stoppage in play from both of these teams either. 2nd and very long. First down line at the Oxford 45. Osley runs right into a stack of defenders and gets minimal yardage.
Britt makes the stop.
So it'll be 3rd down and long. Line to reach for the first down will be all the way at the Oxford 45. Approaching the 6-minute mark remaining in the opening half. Substitutions for Oxford defensively as they want to get off the field here. Mbakwe.
Well, you'll see them take a shot right here, James. I believe they're going to try to get the first down right here, and if not, they'll just punt it.
Mbakwe throws to an open receiver, but quickly closing in, incomplete. On that play is one of the Oxford secondary, actually the cornerback Figures that time, closes in and knocks it away.
Well, he just kind of overthrew him a little bit. He had 2 open right there. If you look, he had 2 open right there, and he just overthrew him right there. He had his choice of either one.
Also give a lot of credit to Figures for being able to close in rapidly to knock that ball away, as it'll be 4th down, and the first time that Clay Chalkville has gone out to punt.
And you can tell that he's using his arm as well as his legs, because in my opinion right there, he had an opportunity to run that football for the first down.
Kamari Hampton returning a line drive kick that goes over his head and takes a huge Clay Chalkville roll right at the 10-yard line. So 5:41 remaining in the opening half. As our FNN High School Football Game of the Week brought to you by the Grub Mart, home of the 99-cent bag of ice. Also our second quarter brought to you by Couch's Jewelers. A tradition as far as this portion of the state of Alabama. Oxford backed up inside their own 10-yard line. Nose the football right at the 10. Richardson, the nearest receiver to the near side. It'll be Thomas on the call, and finds a little running room across the 10 to about the 12-yard line. So Oxford just trying to at least grind out some first downs here for field position. But they had a really good opening drive going in the first quarter when a sack moved them back to about the 15, and then Barrera missed a 29-yard field goal off the right upright.
Well, they had a great drive going. I mean, they exact same scenario that Clay Chalkwood had on that first drive. The difference is Oxford just didn't come out with any points, you know.
2nd and 8. Mims under pressure, sets up the screen, and incomplete. They looked as if they had a great screen set up for DK Wilson, but that ball was overthrown.
They did, and if we got a replay, you'll see when it's tipped in the middle right there, that's almost a pick. That's the one thing that you don't want to do in the middle. If you look right here, he got 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers right there in front, and if he catches that ball, I mean, they go.
First down line at the 20-yard line for Oxford on a 3rd and long. 4-man front for Clay Chalkville. Mims under pressure, dances around defenders and gets taken down. Once again, the front four for Clay Chalkville applying pressure on 3rd down, as it was Patrick Smith on the sack.
And they actually had a 3-man rush on right there on that. But now right here, James, I think you'll see them go at this. I think they possibly get some points. They can make them rush the kick and make a mistake. So you'll probably see them set up some kind of block, and Oxford will probably do a safe, what we call a safe block right here. You see them foot to foot tight, so that's what we call a safe punt block right there.
Here comes the rush, and Gilman's kick will be sidewinding toward the near side. And that gets by Craver, picks it up at the 41 of Clay Chalkville, and then advances to the 45 with a late flag on the play.
And if that's a clip, and I understand it, but he done what the High School Athletic Association used to teach us to do. He went with his hands. So, I saw one of them shield, and I saw him go with his hands. So that's kind of a tough one right there. It wasn't just a blind side. Okay, it's a block in the back.
So they'll mark it back from the spot of the foul. Really helps out Oxford as far as field position.
So they do get him with a block in the black.
Block in the back on the return team. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Clay Chalkville with both touchdowns. First one on their opening drive from Aaron Osley from 5 yards out. And then after a blocked punt, it was Mbakwe tossing to Craver from 43 yards out.
And James, when you see plays like that, you know that they well coached, because that undisciplined team or not too well coached, they would have blindsided and tried to take his lights out, but you can tell the coach practiced that and he teaches that technique.
Play action, the RPO, that is complete over the middle that time to Barber for the first down. We'll take a second look from Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware, as a high throw that time from Mbakwe, but good physical grab by Corey Barber to reel it in.
Yeah, he put it right on the money, Barber. Now you better watch number 4 up top up there. That's the speedster right there, so you see him come in tight.
So another on-time Fashions first down. Play action, throw, receiver behind the D, and that's overthrown, incomplete.
That is, James. I believe I called that one right there.
Yeah, you might have been right on key on that, Eddie, as we'll take a second look.
Right there, you're going to see him. I could see when he came in and they saw he had man-to-man coverage. I knew right then he was going to him, and he barely missed that deep ball throw. That's just a great throw right there. I mean, right off the fingertips.
Oh, yeah, that's just too bad for Clay Chalkville. Looked as if Kumar Robinson had gotten behind his man, but alas, incomplete.
He just take the top off the defense. He's that guy that can take the top off.
Give goes to Osley, tripped up after crossing the line of scrimmage for about a couple of yards that time.
Osley, the ball carrier.
Then you have the defense, Osley, and then you got Mbakwe, the quarterback, who's blazing right there. So it's a tough assignment.
James Tapley on the tackle on the last play for Oxford. 3rd down and 8. Approaching 3 minutes remaining in the opening half. Another big opportunity for the Oxford defense to get off the field. Play clock still at 10 seconds. And Bakwe sends the receiver in motion to the far side. Play action. Pressure comes. And Bakwe tosses, has a receiver complete for a huge first down inside the 30. And that'll be Marlon Compton on his first grab to extend this drive.
And this kid never takes his eyes from down. Look, he's looking downfield right now, and he his receivers know that. And I mean, you gotta love it because he's looking to throw first.
I'm impressed with this guy's smoothness and poise so far when it comes to Mbakwe, the quarterback.
Well, when you're talking about a dual threat quarterback, you know, most high school kids.
Foul on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Most high school kids, when you talk about dual threat, they think the quarterback just want to run it.
Jalen Mbakwe brings his team up to the huddle after the personal foul penalty. Give goes to Osley, dances through the hole, still on his feet as he gets his way closer to the goal line for the first down from on-time fashions. A second look. As there you see an excellent run through the right side and some of the best run blocking of the night, as this is a Martin's Pharmacy red zone trip for Clay Chalkville.
Where his eyes never leave downfield, and you gotta love it because he rewards his receivers and the backs know that they're going to be rewarded.
Chambers now in at running back as he plunges up the middle and into the end zone for the touchdown. So Clay Chalkville looking outstanding so far in the first half. Really mistake-free except for maybe a penalty or two, but otherwise they're playing well in all phases tonight.
Hey, they clicking on all cylinders.
PAT coming up. Antoine Ellison for his third PAT kick of the night. And the way they're playing right now on the road certainly looking as if that they are a 6A state championship contender, if not a favorite. Kick, a line drive is up, and it is good. So we'll take the timeout. 21-0, Clay Chalkville leads as they extend their lead here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Clay Chalkville set to kick things away late in the second quarter. Less than 2 minutes to go as Young's Heating and Air Care brings you another Clay Chalkville Cougars kickoff. James Hardy, Coach Eddie Bullock here at Lamar Field. Kick end over end from Ellison. And that will go out of bounds as Wilson lets it smartly go out of bounds. So can take it out to 35 or re-kick it again. But I imagine that Oxford will, in fact, looks as if they will take the field position. 1:47 remaining in the opening quarter.
Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Indeed, Oxford will take the field position, and they're in desperate need of a score right now, down 21-0. And Oxford really hasn't had too much offensive success since their opening drive of the game.
And I think you'll see Clay Chalkville they'll try to get a stop on his first down, and after that, you'll see them use those timeouts that they got right there.
Mims under pressure has to throw, and that is, let's see, that's a completed catch to Nick Richardson. I wasn't sure that was going to get there with enough mustard, but give a lot of credit to the arm strength of Mims for